I'm not Will Appleby. He's a friend of mine as well. But I'm really happy to be here because I actually used to work for SAFE as well. So, and also just the other amazing presentations, especially Auckland Zoo Watch. I was at SAFE when we were trying to stop the Auckland Council from bringing in more elephants, so it's great to see your campaign as well. I'm in the communications team. Will is actually the campaigner along with Sinead O'Flynn, so there's two campaigners that Greenpeace working on this issue, challenging big dairy. They are the policy experts, they know about the legal stuff, they know the numbers and stuff. I'm just going to try and interpret the notes that Will has given me. And I guess just for context, why is Greenpeace doing a campaign around big dairy? It's not an animal rights campaign, obviously. It's there are lots of animal issues. There's almost 6 million dairy cows in New Zealand. There are 2 million bobby calves being killed at birth every year. But it's also New Zealand's biggest environmental issue. So it's the biggest climate polluter in New Zealand because of methane emissions. And it's one of the leading causes of freshwater pollution, so nitrate contamination in water. And it's got a huge environmental footprint. It's the biggest environmental footprint of any sector in New Zealand. This is factory farming. This is factory farming. This is factory farming. But I guess not many people would recognize this as factory farming, but it's working on the same principles of maximizing outputs to be the most efficient, to make the most amount of money. So the efficiencies are to do with how many dairy cows you can put on a piece of land and how much outputs you can get. The dairy industry in New Zealand is separated from the food industry in New Zealand. It's 95% of the dairy industry is exporting milk powder overseas, so it's products going overseas. It's not for New Zealanders to eat food. But the perception is different. So in New Zealand, the perception is farming, food production. Why would you criticise the New Zealand farming industry? This is the pushback that Greenpeace gets. I have to say it's also probably it's not a very popular campaign compared to plastics. So people understand the problem with plastics. They see plastics. They don't see nitrate contamination. And just to talk briefly, so the Greenpeace's campaign is really focused on changing that storytelling, changing the narrative. So when people see the picture of green pastures, they associate it with the environmental cost as well. And we're focused especially on the inputs. So the three biggest inputs are water and irrigation, fertilizer use, and palm kernel, which is it's a feed supplement which is brought in from Indonesia. And the costs of these inputs, so it's contamination of waterways and pollution of waterways, freshwater streams, health impacts because of nitrate contamination of that drinking water, and the cost of the source of where the palm kernel is coming from. So it's connected to rainforest destruction in Indonesia. What's this? This minutes. So just to dive in a little bit more to talk about those issues specifically, we've got 30 minutes, don't we? Is that right? Just to talk really briefly, so the two main problems for Greenpeace's campaign is the palm kernel and the nitrate contamination. So New Zealand is one of the biggest importers of palm kernel. It's called palm kernel expeller, PKE. The industry talks about it as a supplementary feed. But it's because in the wintertime you can't grow enough grass, and so they need to supply the cows with another kind of food. The industry totally depends on palm kernel. They also say that it's a byproduct from palm oil, so the trees are being cut down anyway, so why not use it? Otherwise it just gets thrown away. This is just ignoring the fact that it's millions of dollars that New Zealanders supporting the palm kernel industry, palm oil industry in Indonesia, and the implications of that are rainforest destruction, wildlife habitat disappearing. The Fonterra supply chain is quite murky on where the actual palm kernel is coming from. And just in terms of Greenpeace campaigning, we had a small success at the start of the year. So 2 years ago, the team started a lawsuit against Fonterra. It was to do with the packaging. So this says 100% New Zealand grass-fed. And Greenpeace took the Fonterra to court to say this is misleading, it's not 100% grass-fed. Fonterra came back and said, it says 100% New Zealand and grass-fed. So that was their legal claim. At the start of this year, they settled out of court. So for Greenpeace, that was the victory. And it's also changing the story. So it got media attention, and I think it's just starting to erode that idea that dairy is a clean industry. The other side, which Will works on especially, is to do with health issues. So it's Greenpeace is going out into rural communities, testing water, and talking about the health impacts of nitrate contamination, feeding through the soil into the fresh water, and especially for rural communities, this is an issue because they're drinking poor water, especially. So. It's contaminating the drinking water sources. And the reason Greenpeace is doing this is to be able to have another kind of conversation. So it's to talk about environmental issues through the health issues. And this is the present legal limit of nitrate in drinking water, and it was set in the 1950s. Greenpeace is working with scientists at the moment to try and change that, so it should be much more concerning at much lower levels. And it's doing that through the water testing. And I've worked on one of these water testing events, and it's amazing. Like, you get rural people coming in asking about the issue. It's a very different conversation that you might see in the media, where it's more polarizing and farmers against urban people. It's actually people just wanting to know what are the implications of dairy farming in their industry, because they can see what's happening in the area. And yeah, I think just to sum up, this is one of the Greenpeace's main campaigns. It's also one of the hardest. So it's about challenging ideas and the political power of the dairy industry in New Zealand. So as we've heard already, Andrew Hogarth, Federated Farmers, is actually part of the government. They're pushing back on climate policies, climate actions over the last 3 years. They're taking New Zealand backwards in terms of environmental impacts and results, and that is why Greenpeace is campaigning on to challenge big dairy. Thank you.